is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today it's time to tune in with our money mindset coach, Miss Caren Fern, all the way from Toronto, Canada. Here to change our minds about our money so that we can do business better. And so today I want to introduce to some and present to others Miss Caren Fern, our money mindset coach. How you doing this morning, Caren?
Oh, fabulous.
Oh my goodness. It's so good to see you. Your hair is gorgeous.
Thank you.
So what do you have for us today, Karen?
So this is August. Could you imagine somebody was saying it? We've got 5 months before we touch 2020. Could you believe it? Oh, hurry up
I
and get
guess
all
we're
the
gonna
people.
have to.
Please, because usually, if you think about it, August, September, October, November, the minute you hit December halfway, people are into Christmas and nothing much get done. Nothing happens. So please
Wow.
make these 4 months count. It's so important. Okay. I'm so excited for you and your businesses. I just wanted to know, even if I don't know you individually, I'm excited for whatever you are doing. All right. Today's topic is last month we talked about refresh and all that stuff. And so I thought
Mm.
this month, let's talk about assignments, right? And things we
Ah.
do upon assignment. So today we're going to talk about the first assignment.
Ah.
Terry's like, huh, don't give me work. Work. You got to do the work. You got to do behind the scenes stuff that you don't tell anybody about and then they see it. You gotta go make
Mm.
all your mistake, do all your crap, and then you come and you look beautiful on screen. But behind the scenes, it's messy. It's hard work. I'm not gonna lie to you. If your mom had told you you had to do 110% in school, she was right. You gotta do 100% on yourself. That 10% is the
Ah.
mess up, the learning curve, the things you feel bad about yourself with. It's okay. You gotta give it for that, okay? I was asked to speak at a summit, an online summit for cleaning groups and companies and what have you. I think about 49 of us. And I was so impressed that a lot of people took time out of their listening to actually inbox me and thank me for my presentation. It really made me feel good because I wasn't feeling too great when I did do it. I was starting to come down, but I promised to do it and I got on the screen and I got it done. I even had slides ready so that they can follow through. And one of the big things that I know, I'm not the only one to talk about mindset, but a lady said, commented in the group, she said, since so many people are talking about mindset, I decided to apply what you guys told me. Now, this is the juicy part. She applied it. You see, when you apply what you're listening to, that's the only way you get results. You can't sit and hope and pray. You got to apply it. You got to pray, yeah, got to spend time with God, but you got to apply it. Because she applied it, she got 6 new clients. She applied the method. She says, I'm not going to lie to you. You guys keep talking about it. I didn't want to believe it, but I said, what the heck? If they said, I'm going to do what they tell me to do. And she recalled all her old clients, people that was humming and buzzing around, people that, that she didn't want to reach out to. And yes, a bunch wasn't ready and a bunch said no. So she cleared her, list. So those people no longer matter. But the people who said yes and four said yes to repeat business, I mean, that's money in her pocket because she changed how she thought about her business. And people, it's not mumbo jumbo or only visualizing because that is part of it. But you really have to believe that you're your own cheerleader. You're going to do great things. And you have to wrap your mind around this idea that whatever it is you think about will come about. But it doesn't happen without work. You got to do the work. So today we're talking about the first assignment. All right. First assignment. Number one, learning to live alone. Oh my God. I think I brought this when we did Fire Talk once. And I'm going to bring it up again because I realized when I check my news, I'm going to talk about it. Understanding to live alone. Don't mean that you can't be in the house with others, but live spiritually alone. Live alone in your mind so that you do not need people. Now, I told you about cheerleaders, so don't get me wrong. I'm not contradicting myself. I am telling you about living alone because when you do, you really bring on board great cheerleaders because you understand that you can do this without people there. I can't remember what movie I was watching the other day, but everywhere you go, you see they need leaders. And if you're in business, you got to be a leader. And a leader understands that they need alone time. So they have to learn to live alone. They have to learn to get an idea, map it out, no matter how crazy it looks. Don't ask for feedback until they're at the place where somebody come in and say it doesn't look great, you know, you're still okay with it because you have decided, you firmly committed to this idea and you know it's going to work. So you gotta have to live alone. It's a really good practice for everybody. For the child who is doing gymnastics and is willing to, do all those flips alone. She's living alone in that moment. For me, when I was a dancer, like I come home and I would practice, and I told you guys I was in business, but I would be in business and I would still practice and I would practice. Like that was part of what I do. And it made me a better dancer. When I sang in the choir, like I go over my lines, over and over. And a lot of classmates was really upset because I got a lot of solo parts. But that's because I put in the time singing and making sure I got all the notes right. So when I show up and they're looking for a lead singer, I know I'm going to be chosen. I want to be chosen, and I know I'm going to be chosen. I know I'm going to be hated on the left and right at times, but at that point, I don't care. So you got to understand this part. This is the I think this is the hardest part, especially with social media, because we want to tell everybody everything and do everything with everybody. It's kind of hard to be alone, but you need it. It's like a drink of water. You do need it. And that is really a mindset in terms of, could you imagine you start this business? This was a dream. This was something you decided to do, whether because you needed money or you wanted to start a business. And you now have to sit down and cultivate all this thing. And this is how a lot of times the speakers talk about making money out of thin air, because really and truly is your idea and you put it into this functioning mechanism that is bringing you the cash. Nobody come and hand it to you. Nobody came and handed it to you. You yourself listen to yourself and you put it into practice. Now, I understand a lot of things happen along the way, but you got to really go back to the beginning. And that's why we say you need clarity and you need your why. This is the reason why people keep saying this, is because it's an easy way to say you need your why and clarity instead of going into all the details that I'm going into here right now. But you need it. All right. This also means, number two, it means that you also need to learn to take accountability for everything on your watch. Every single thing you have to be accountable for. And this doesn't mean you have to beat up yourself, because sometimes when we're taking accountability, we go over the line and we go over into the beat up. No, accountability means, listen, I'm supposed to get up at 5 every morning to exercise or meditate and whatever and then exercise. But this morning I didn't do it. Get yourself out a piece of paper, online, however you need to do, stick it on your wall and write what happened, because you're allowing yourself and you give yourself permission to be, yes, accountable, but not beat yourself up. So I wasn't feeling well, I'm tired. Make sure it's not an excuse though. This is what happened this morning. Why did this happen? Did I go to bed too late? Did I not prep myself for the new day? Was I carrying over baggage? You need to be honest with you, because then you're really being accountable and you can change that. You're an adult. You don't need to wait for your mom. So if you know that going to bed at 12 or 1 is not serving you, then get to bed at 9. Don't care who calling you. Tell them, bye. It's 9 o'clock. I got to go to bed. I'll talk to you in the morning, because the businesses are closed at 9 and you can't call them up. Nobody's picking up the phone. Why are you picking your phone up? Okay, it's done. If you say it's a 10 o'clock night, close off, then you should still finish at 9, because the next hour is for your bath, brushing your teeth, drinking water, maybe reading a book, all the things that brings you down, so you can actually get some rest, because rest is part of the important. It is part of the importance in running a business. We all love, and self-included, man, I can come in the computer and get into my writing ricketics and forget everything about the time. That's why I love the timer, because it will remind me. It's 2 hours past. it will remind me. And you really need that reminder, because when your creativity is flowing, you don't want to not do it. And people say, well, I have
Mhm.
to get it when it comes to me, so I can't leave. But the truth is, it's another little lie. It's another little whisper that's telling you that. Because if you
Ah.
set time aside, you will notice that that's a big fat lie. Daniel Steele, one of the authors that I love to read for, nothingness. I love reading Daniel Steele. One of my things that I've been reading since I was, I don't know, a teenager or whatever. I just love reading her books, okay? And
Uh-huh.
she talked about it. She says, there is a time set aside that not even her daughters can call her. When she, and a woman has kids, she's had, what, 5 kids or how many kids? She set that time aside and she writes, which means if she's writing crap, sometimes she says, I write 2, 3 chapters of nonsense. But because she has practiced this devoted 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever time, she gets there and she writes for that time. And that's why
Okay.
she gets to finish her books, because she writes for that time. She's no different from you and I, whatever you're doing. If you're a sewer, then you for 4 hours you sew. If you're a baker, then you get in there and you bake. If you do cakes, you do cakes. If you a coach like I am, you're doing workbooks, you sit down there and you write assignments, you write courses, you write workbooks, you write books that you eventually going to publish one day. You set up stuff for your
Mm-hmm.
client, but you set that time aside and you do it. You've got to set that time aside and do it. It's like if I don't set up my calendar also, even if I don't have clients for that week, there's this portion of my time for clients. So if I don't have a client to fit that slot, then I need to take that time and do a research, or to spend that time learning something new or getting better at something I know already. That's
Mm.
time I don't want. So when I get a client to fit that slot, I still have that time available. It's very,
Okay.
very important. Very important. So Mark Ward said, here's a question that I
Can you
always,
see Mark's comment?
yeah.
It's
So
here's
here's
the
the
question.
question I always pose to myself and everyone. Is the pain of where you are greater than the discomfort of what it is going to take to move you out of it? Is it a question that you're answering every day with your thoughts, words, and actions? So why not clear about your, so why
So
not
why
be
not?
clear about your answer? Okay. Yeah. And it's ongoing. Mark is right, it's ongoing. You have to find questions, whether what Mark is saying or your own, and you really have to keep asking yourself it. You got to get fed up with yourself asking it sometimes before you move, because a lot of adults are still kids, and sometimes not in the best way, which means they're still into the, no, I'm putting my feet down in the sand and telling mommy no, which is your own self.
Yes.
I'm digging in my
Yes.
heels, and it's your own self. So that's the kind of accountability you need to have for yourself, where you really showing up and being present. Because I often tell people, you leave and you went to work and somebody paid you, let's say, $15, $20 an hour. Well, honestly, they were paying you 10 or 12 bucks an hour. But the time transportation, time going and coming, you dutifully getting in there and working 8 hours. Like, you need to put in that time for yourself. And number three is, there is nowhere else to turn. Really, back to what I'm talking about. There's nowhere else to turn but to yourself to do the work. And don't tell
Mm.
anybody while you're doing the work. No complaining. Like, you got to do the work. I know I just said it and I'm repeating it. You got to do the work. If you bought a course from me and we did videos like this, you asked me a bunch of questions. I help you set up your
Mm-hmm.
sales page. I help you, tell you about SEO. I talk about Facebook ads. I put content together for you. We talk about every single thing. If you did not do anything, you still is not going to make any money. You still have to do these things. Let's say you decided, oh, I love LinkedIn. That's where I can get my clients. I'm on Facebook and I'm on Instagram. Then we have to set up, in these three social media places, what you're going to talk about. And you actually have to go do it. You got to write the articles. You're going to have to build content for Facebook. You're gonna have to get out there and do pictures for Instagram and write stories about them and entangle your brand and what you do with what you just did. Like it doesn't just end. It's like you can't write a blog, put it on your website, and that's it. You gotta promote it. You gotta
Mhm.
promote it. You gotta tell people about your blog. You gotta go in groups and tell them what you blog. You gotta tell people you meet on the road about your blog. I know this part. Lots of time people are online, so they're like, I don't have to talk to anybody when I meet them personally. Lies. You got to talk to people offline about your blogs.
I can't tell you how many people want to have an online store, but they don't want to talk to people.
Yeah,
Okay, how does that work?
right?
I think they think because they put the picture up that it's just supposed to happen, but who's going to look at your picture? Maybe the people that you've been talking to will
Yeah,
go in and be curious about what
yes,
it is you're posting. I don't think
exactly.
they understand the connection between the two.
Yeah.
Seriously, Caren, I
They,
really
they, they,
don't.
they don't. They don't. I was talking to this lady who has a catering business, but she's already make money off of it. And she, you know how long she's been complaining? This is nearly 3 years that nobody would pay the prices. That's why she can't make any money, and she really don't want to be where she's working. And I said to her, "Do you understand you have a built-in audience? Where you work, you can
Mm-hmm.
make a killing." And she said, nobody will pay my prices. I said, well, if you say that, of course, they wouldn't pay your prices. Like, it's very simple. You're going to have to make a taste, and so they can taste it. And once they taste it, you're going to have to actually sell them online. Not everybody is taste and I'll buy. Some people is taste, conversation, then I'll buy. When they approach you to buy, you is the one that's sending them away because you've decided nobody's going to pay me $25. So
Well,
then nobody's going to pay you $25, whatever our number was. I'm just making up a number, right?
yeah. But here's the other thing I think too, Caren, they don't realize that it works just like a vending stand or a regular retail store. If
Yeah,
you walk in, think of yourself as a customer. If you walk in and the cashier does not talk to you or the salesperson does not talk to you, they're talking to each other or they're walking away or ignoring you, they're just standing there mute. How would that make you feel?
exactly. Exactly. When that happened, nobody likes it. Nobody likes it. And I pointed out to you, I said, case in point, I came to Canada. I'm from Guyana. Okay? Which means the things that I know to make has nothing to do with a Canadian. It didn't matter what race you are. You don't know what I'm talking about. You just don't know because you've never visited Guyana. You've never had our product. You didn't go your way because nobody introduced it to you. And I'm not mad with that. I am actually happy because I'm the introducer here. I'm the introducer. So I'm happy to introduce you to my culture. And I'm happy to tell you about it. By the time you've tasted and we've spoken, I don't even have to really ask for the sale anymore. You're asking me if I'm going to sell it to you because
Yes.
we went through the process. Okay, so I know that I'm not selling you tomorrow, but if I had a goal, and my goal at the time was a 2 week span, in less than the 2 weeks people place their orders. The other thing was I am not trying to sell people all week because I've got different goals, so it's a weekend thing. You can get things from me either Friday or Thursday or Monday. And most people
Mm-hmm.
love the Mondays because I have the weekend. They feel I have more time. They pay me up front, and Monday I bring all the goods in,
You
and
deliver.
everybody's happy.
Yes. Now, I know that there is one group of ladies who make this special tomato sauce, like for spaghetti,
Hmm.
pasta sauce, and they only sell it at Christmas time.
Right.
So people know they're going to have it available. It's fresh, whatever, and it's made during Christmas time. So people order quantities
Yep.
for gifts
Yes.
because it's unique.
Hmm.
And so they make all their money during the Christmas market.
Yes. Yep.
So, but they had to talk to somebody.
Yes, you gotta talk to people, and you gotta behind the scene is where all this stuff happens. By the time you get to a customer, if you have not sold before, you gotta sell you on the idea that what you are cultivating, what you are creating, is sold already. Like you got to have this idea. Like you really have to. So that when people approach you, when people approach you, you're not, let me get back to you. This is 25 to 30 bucks. And I'm watching their face to see the reaction. Because I've calculated that I can sell it for 25 and be okay, but I'm wanting $30 for it. So I've done
Mhm.
my calculation. I'm not giving you anything. When I first started, and I knew to decorate cakes, but I came here and I wanted to, see, taught myself. So I took a course, and every class that I took, I just baked cakes and I was giving away cakes like crazy. Birthday, Christmas, everybody got cakes like crazy. Let me tell you, Mother's Day. And I was in my second class when I got so much orders, I missed 2 days of class. My instructor's like, Karen, what do you do? And I'm like, people are ordering cake. She's like, how you do that? I said,
Yes, indeed.
I've been giving away cakes. She said, you give away cakes? I'm like, yes. It really wasn't for self. It allowed me to practice a lot. That's what.
I was gonna say yes.
And I can't keep in the house because I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to eat all that cake. So I keep giving the cakes away, right? Every time I
Yeah.
get a great cake, picture, giveaway.
And people get a chance to give you feedback.
Yes.
Well, I like this. I didn't like
Yes.
that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Um, and then you get a chance to practice. What should the pricing be? What are people willing to go? You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah, and you can't be afraid if somebody said, the cake was a little dry today, or you didn't have enough. Don't be upset. They're telling you what their taste buds are feeling. You need to correct that. You don't need to argue with them. You need to just correct
Exactly.
whatever
Exactly.
that is. Just correct it, okay? Just get it corrected. Like I'm holding a workshop later this month, in-house workshop here, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on the book handout, right? And this workshop literally is going to be so that people can do this workshop, give me feedback, and then I'm going to bring it online because it's a different format that I'm working with, and I
Yes.
really want these people to be present. This is a strategy I'm working on, and I can't do it without the people in person. That's why people have people who come in and taste their product, people who come in and give feedback without knowing who you are. These things are important. It's research. It
Yes.
really helps you. It helps your business. It doesn't make your business look weak or you weak and you don't know
Mm-hmm.
anything. It really gives you feedback. It allows you. I will sell something very cheap. Yeah, I'm one of those
Mm-hmm.
people, very cheap to get feedback because when they get it free, they do nothing with it. So I'll sell something very cheap and just wait. I might not even ask. I allow people to voluntarily tell
Mm-hmm.
me, kind I like it, I didn't like it, it was too acid, I should do this, you should do that. And I listen. I'm not going to apply everything, but I'm going to apply the ones that I know that's going to
And
work.
and this is how most major companies do it. They do the blind testing, which is what
Yes.
you said,
Yep.
and then they do focus groups,
Yeah.
which is what you set up.
Yeah. When I first started coaching, even though I'd coach people and I'd seen results, I didn't do it online. So I was doing a lot of rapid fire. I do a 3 day coaching with people and a 6 day mentoring, which means every single day at 6 o'clock, I have the people and it was just Google phone that I call them up and we'll have the conversation and it was free and you come in and the people who, wouldn't show up on time, I let them go because they weren't serious. And they got back to me weeks later and saying to me, Karen, I said, no, that's gone. I've got 3 people lined up who is happy to actually do stuff and
Yes.
fill in and actually want to have a business. And I was roaring to go. So I had my practice with those people. I got them in, I set them up. I said, this is going to be like, this is intense. And you only come in if you want to be intense and get your business off.
Mm-hmm.
It was a month's thing. You either come in for a 3 day or a 6 day. And which means every day we meet for an hour and we do the work. And I tell you, the people who did the work up to today will tell you got response. Got results. Sorry. They got results because they went in and do the work. I
Yes.
couldn't help them if they didn't do the work. Even when they doubt themselves that they can do the work. Listen, this is the other part. Even if you're doubting you that you can do the work, still do it. Do it badly. Do it badly and you will see. A friend had asked me years ago, so Karen, you telling me if I want to start a cleaning company, you want me to clean my whole house? I said, yes, I want you to clean your whole house from top to bottom because you need to understand. This is not just because I want to do it. I want you to see how long it takes so you can
Mm-hmm.
really get a good estimate. I know every house is not going to be the same, but there's a lot of similarities in houses. I want you
Mm-hmm.
to understand when you hire people how hard a work it is so that you can have empathy for your workers and treat them well. This is important.
Yes.
I want you to know how to talk to your customers because while you're cleaning, there's something about cleaning. Some people don't like it, but I've got a lot of ideas when I clean. So there's times I turn my house upside down and clean it myself because it just spur on things. That's just me. I got ideas in different areas. When I sew, when I clean, there's different ways that I pull myself and just get things going and flowing, right? And so when you're cleaning, you're gonna start. This is this you can't get away from this. You just learn things that you couldn't learn otherwise. If I
Mm.
taught a course on cleaning, I am going to ask you to do a lot of listening while you clean. Listening is
Uh-huh.
so important. Listening, just be listening to what you're told. Because you're moving your hand, because you're doing a lot of coordination work, it's all those muscles is getting to move and really be uncomfortable enough to nudge you. So you can start a
Mm.
cleaning company, and I'm not saying that you can't start a cleaning company. You can buy into one, but if you're starting from the ground up, you're gonna want to clean your house from head to toe. All I'm saying.
Yes.
Even if you're not going to go out there and do the work, even if you're going to start with you hiring people from the get-go, because that's the other thing, there's the people who is in the field and can't come out because they think they can only do it better than everybody else. That means that person just want
Mm-hmm.
to have a business. They don't really want to grow a company, because if you want to grow a company, you're going to have to leave the field. That's the other thing, right? You'll have to have a different conversation. But today we are really talking on the assignment. The assignment. And your first assignment is to learn to live alone. It's just
Mm.
the first practice of leadership. Leadership is a lot of alone and lonely time. That doesn't
Mm.
mean you're lonely, but a lot of alone time. You can't take this as a
Yes.
punishment. Don't say that, I speak to my friends and family. No, no, no. See it as the place where you go to learn, to make you better, to work on your personal development. See it as such. See it as you being the leader so that you can really develop the people that's going to follow you and do things for you. Understand it in that form versus I'm alone, I'm lonely. No, 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 no. You can get your cheerleaders and everybody else, but you need to understand. You need to be with you, and it's okay to do. Matter of fact, it's a must. It's not an okay, it's a must. You need to develop that, okay? You really, really, truly do. So, one of the most important things. And number two was it really means you have to be accountable to yourself. When you start taking all the responsibility, when you really and truly take responsibility for you,
Mm-hmm.
it's harder to blame somebody for anything. It's really harder. And I say not the accountability where you're blaming you to the point where you paralyze and you can't do anything. That's not the kind I'm talking about. This is the accountability in terms of I did not work out today. I did not eat right today. I decided to enjoy my day and it's a-okay. But I'm taking
Okay.
accountability that I've had ice cream. Now don't go eat a pint of ice cream because you're gonna whine to your mind all week. Have a scoop, have
Mm.
a bowl of ice cream. Don't eat from the container. No, you crossed the line. I'm sorry, I don't care. Get a bowl of
That's a no-no.
That's a no-no. Since my kids are growing up, I buy a biggest bag of chips, but they always would get a bowl. And their friends would come over and say, I can't believe your mom is limiting you. No, I'm teaching them something. They never knew at the time, but I'm teaching them. Nobody ever gets a bag of chips. Maybe they get a little bag if they're traveling. But that rarely happens because I'm buying it in bulk and I'm zip-locking it so everybody get a bag
Mm-hmm.
the chip. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
you understand how to eat. This is a training. So when you get older, you're not going crazy thinking you need a bag of chips. You don't need a bag of chips. You only think you need a bag of chips. No, no more the commercial. You just need a little bit of chips. And then you don't go crazy because what happens when you have the whole bag and it's finished, even though you
Uh-huh.
enjoy it, your mind started in on you. Your bully inside of you start bullying you like, how dare you eat a whole bag of chips? La 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 la. Same thing
Oh.
happened. The bully inside of you and most people, and I'm gonna say most people, takes up 3/4 of your time on what you do. Unless you move over, you are in this place where your bully is running rampant and he or she can torment the hell out of you. Partially why sometimes you don't get things done because he's taking over. Okay, don't let her, don't let him. Oh my god. And you gotta really understand there's nowhere else to turn but yourself. So you got to do the work. You got to put in the time. You got to put in the time. You got to put in the time. If it takes you 12 hours to do something, then it takes you 12 hours because I guarantee you, this is 100% guarantee. Anything that takes 12 hours can take 10 hours. And anything that takes 10 hours can take 8 hours. I promise you. And this was just from observing because my mom is a very slow person. It takes her a long time to do anything. That's just her style. There's nothing. She just takes her time. That's her style since I was young. This is her style. But my job had been always watching her and thinking to myself, why would you spend this time with it? Now she enjoys it, but why would you spend so much time with it? And I was always trying to beat that time. It was always the secret.
Well, Caren, I always love to make acronyms. So what I got out of today, my takeaway is the triple A process: to be alone, accountable, and active.
I love it.
So thank you for the triple A process that we're going to have to deal with if we're going to be successful entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
So that's sort of how I'll remember
Oh, you
what you
remember
said
it.
today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You're so right. I think it's a couple years ago when I sat back and I realized that the reason most of us are able to sell things online, and I'm gonna be clear with you, because we are willing to put in the time to sit on Canva and learn how to do something so we can formulate a program and sell it to people who don't want to spend time on Canva. The people who sell you stuff
Exactly.
on YouTube is the very same thing.
Exactly.
They devoted the time because anything that I think about, I put into practice to see the results. And if I wanted to make a certain number on LinkedIn, I spend the time looking out, checking out people, and getting
Uh-huh.
my numbers up because that's what I wanted to do for that section of my time. So anything you want to do in business, you can do it. You're just gonna have to spend some time on it. And as Terry says, the triple A: alone, accountable, and active or action, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Exactly.
this really makes sense. Really makes sense.
There
Really
you
makes
go. So we are looking forward to hearing more from you, Coach. Um, we know that you have a number of workshops available. You want to tell us where we can find you and how we can sign up for those workshops real quick?
Yes, well, I am looking forward into eventually teaching a master class on my, at least a little sneak preview and a free master class on my for our work day. And then I'll turn that into a program where would be a payment program and won't be more than about $500 or so.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be a 6 weeks program. It's going to be very easy. If you apply it, you'll see results. That's the key. You have to apply whatever I'm teaching you.
Oh, yes.
It'll be a
You have
workbook.
to take action.
Yeah, it'll be a
Uh,
workbook. We'll be chatting like this, and you get your question, you get a workbook up front, which means you get to come in with your questions. I get to answer them because I know everybody's business is different, but it still boils down to you got to put in
and all of that
work.
is good, but you still haven't told us where you are on the web.
I'm at Island
Ah,
Girl Hustle. Island Girl Hustle, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter. YouTube is the only YouTube I'm Caren because it's the name. I don't know. Then I'll let me put Island Girl Hustle there. So
okay.
Coach Caren,
So
you'll find it there.
that's what I wanted to get to, because a lot of times we think because we're on here every week
Yeah,
that people know where to find us, and that's not necessarily true.
true,
We
true.
want to make sure that they know where to find Coach Caren. She's at Island Girl Hustle on all of her social media accounts.
All
So
my
if you're
social
looking,
media. And I'll give
so if
Fran
you
my info to put it up on the districts when the
yes,
time is right.
okay. So guys, if you're looking for Coach Caren and how to get involved in her workshops, you can go to Biz Chicks group and she will have her information in there. And also, if you're looking for her in your browser, just type in Island Girl Hustle and you should see her picture on her social media accounts.
Yeah.
Okay? I encourage you to follow her. And we love her. She's just always got some wonderful nuggets for us. And so with that, I just want to thank you. Thank you, Coach,
You're
for
welcome.
being with us today.
You're welcome.
Okay. Did you have anything you wanted to add?
Nope, just don't. I'm going to take it for Terry. Don't forget to go to the front of your own line. You got to get clear on you to get clear on anybody else.
Great. Okay, so tomorrow is Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
right? Am I correct?
Yep.
And so we know we're going to have Happy Healthy Habits with Robin Shimizu and friends. And so we encourage you to tune in because if you don't have your health, you can't keep your wealth. Uh, so with that, we say thank you. Thank you for spending time with us. We know you could have been anywhere, but you chose to spend the time with us. And we hope you'll have a great day.
Yes.
And we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye-bye, Coach. And again, don't forget to go to the front of your own line. See you later. Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.